Your Excellence.
How exotic. An envoy of Tyr Fredi. This is quite the novelty. Are you a dignitary from your island, or have you come with a message from a local noble?
I suppose one might say that I am an envoy of Tyr Fredi, milady. And I am here to speak with you about a very important matter. We have proof that the General Karnas, a commanding officer of the Bridge Alliance, is preparing a brutal attack against your country.
Alas, that is nothing new. The Bridge has been attacking us for centuries. But you might not have been aware of that.
We are aware of the war between your two nations, but this time the situation is very different. This general seeks glory for himself rather than his nation, and he plans on using unconventional means to obtain his goal. He hopes to use giant creatures that we call guardians, beasts invoked from the rituals of our traditions. He will release them to attack you. He plans on blaming my people, but also the congregation. These horrible attacks will originate from your country by his hand.
Giant creatures? Are you certain you have all of your wits about you?
We can prove what we are saying. We have documents that we took from a laboratory operated by men under orders of this general. And if it is the very existence of these creatures that you doubt, we also have in our possession one of their heads. It is on our ship. You can come and see it yourself if you so desire, or send someone you trust.
You seem very sure of yourself. You have given me pause, madam. I'm going to send someone from the embassy immediately to verify what you've told me. Let's assume that you are telling the truth about these monsters. You also spoke about some documents.
Here they are.
Thank you. Please, allow me a moment to inspect them all. This entire story seems like the stuff of some fable. But these savants and this General Kernaz are indeed set on attacking us and letting others take the blame. Alas, these documents do not give us the precise location of this attack. Do you have an idea?
As you were able to read, the savants seem to want to use ancient Austrian ruins. It's true that we too need locations that are of historical or natural significance in order to perform the bonding ritual, which here transforms people. But I am not familiar with the border regions, and I don't know if Austrian ruins are to be found there.
There are indeed Austrian ruins all over the place in our country. But if I think about it, one location in particular comes to mind. The Sudwise region, in fact, that people from here have renamed High Prairie when they took it.
It's carried the name of High Prairie for many years now, Your Excellence. I have never been there, but I have heard the name spoken. I understand that impressive ruins are to be found there.
Very well then. I have thought this through. I think the best option would be for me to accompany you. This business is far too important, and its impact too far-reaching, for you not to be accompanied by someone official. And if we were to wait for the princes of the merchant cities to take action, we would by then have died of old age.
Isn't this quite risky, Your Excellence?
My dear, I was born during a civil war in my country. I know how to defend myself. Or one might say, I am a fast runner. We will rendezvous at High Prairie. I require some time to prepare for the voyage. Do you have anything else you would like to talk about?
We shall leave now, Your Excellency.
Goodbye.
As I understand it, we're going to have to leave Perret and head northeast to get to High Prairie. Up in the hills is where we'll find the trade route that can take us there.
Armor as beautiful as broken. your hungry soul.
Ah, there you are. I hope you've had safe travels.
Yes, thank you. I see that you have come with your escort.
They have accompanied me this far, but they will wait for me here. No need to bring the entire troop and this carriage. We are only here to see if the Alliance is up to something in these ruins, not to lead an assault.
As you wish. You know the region and its dangers better than we do.
That's true. Should we be going?
Yes, let's go.
Winter clothes, summer clothes, light clothing and workwear.
You received a message from the Master Librarian at the Great Library in Uxantis. He's asked to see us. His message was very vague. I wonder what he wants.
I truly enjoyed my discussions with him. I'm intrigued to learn what he has to ask us when we return to the island.
This is very odd. This bridge was in much better shape the last time I crossed it. We're going to have to find a less direct route, I'm afraid.
I am surprised that the nobility of the region has not looked after it. How do they get their caravans across? Something is wrong here. We need to keep our guard up.
Come now. If you believe that General Kurnaz is behind all of this, you're delusional. How could he know we're here?
People, what do they want with you?
They're communists. Traitors to the Empire.
Only a fool dares to attack a Devestri.
Your men have all fallen. You are all that remains.
You are cowards and traitors. This dastardly ambush is well worthy of Carminists. Speak. Who are you, and how did you learn that we were coming to the region?
I have nothing to say to you. But to these folk, on the other hand, I understand why you have killed my men. We attacked you without knowing who you were. But it seems obvious that you are not Mateists, nor are you men from the embassy. As such, I present my apologies. We are fighting for our faith, to overthrow a corrupted empire that hides behind its magic and is fed by handouts from Thélème. We are not your enemies. You have found yourself in the middle of a conflict that is not your own. You have business with the ambassador. So be it. But allow me to take my leave.
The ambassador asked you a question. Answer.
Who informed you that we'd be coming here?
May the demons take you. I will say nothing more.
Wait. Something isn't right. I feel a tremor.
What is it?
Let's show them what we're made of!
The leader of those Carminist traitors took advantage of the chaos to flee before we could question him. May the Enlightened protect us. What was that thing?
A guardian. One of those giant creatures we told you about. But this one was very different from the one we fought in Eschiara.
So General Kurnaz did manage to create one of these beasts. Fortunately, you have ensured that it will never attack Dutton. You have shown great bravery.
We didn't really have a choice. What puzzles me is the nature of this guardian. It looked like those we have on our island, but a corrupt, tainted version. The Nadoig on this continent are very strange, and don't seem to behave the way ours do.
I heard about this kind of beast on your island. I never thought I'd see one here.
After an encounter like that, I can only concur with your opinion that this General's experiments are dangerous.
We need to find out where exactly this guardian came from, and make sure that the scientists don't create any more.
I'm going to go and get my escort. We're going to need reinforcements. I can't risk another ambush, or having to face another one of these beasts alone. The ruins are close by, and you are welcome to explore them if you like. But please be careful.
We'll try to avoid being seen. Let's go, while the trail is still clearly visible. This is where the Guardian attacked us. Trucks head off in that direction. Ugh, I can't do it. Look at all these fallen trees. They've been ripped up by the enraged Guardian as it passed. These Alliance soldiers attempted to stop the Guardian in its escape. They paid with their lives.
I don't see a single soldier from the Alliance. These men were mercenaries of the Guard, enlisted by one of Kernaz's right hands.
Trucks head off in that direction. Ropes and chains. They were trying to control it, but it was a futile attempt. There we have the famous ruins of the Austrians that the ambassador mentioned.
Yes, and the border with Dutton is near. They chose the ideal location to create their monster and unleash it upon their enemies.
I s- Meldet. What happened here?
These people were not killed by weapons. Their wounds are the work of a gigantic beast. These people were not killed by weapons. Their wounds are the work of a gigantic beast.
There's no assassin or warrior I've ever known, and believe me, I know plenty, who could inflict wounds like that. That creature, your guardian on the other hand, is another matter.
These wounds are very distinctive. I have no doubt.
This document is signed by Zahid. I can recognize her stink. She is the one that caused us problems in Yuxantis. So she is now on congregation soil, still conspiring against us and others doing the General's bidding.
This woman has become the flag bearer of imperialistic ideology. She applies all of her intelligence and malice for this cause.
With these documents, we should be able to have her banished without difficulty. I know who we could show them to. Believe me, this proof is so damning she might end up in jail. Or in the river.
The ambassador will carry more weight if she takes care of this. Let's let her do her duty.
These people were not killed by weapons. Their wounds are the work of a gigantic beast. These people were not...
All dead. This is a veritable massacre. No doubt. Given the nature of their wounds, the Guardian must have done this. They came in numbers, but its power and rage must have taken them by surprise. Some of them weren't even armed.
What a terrible waste. These savants were not known for their moral aptitude, but many of them were gifted. If they hadn't fallen under the spell of this crazed Kurnaz, they would still be alive and pursuing their studies in Alima.
May the earth welcome you, despite all that you have done to us.
We should keep looking, because there may be other documents like this.
It's fortunate that we were able to get a hold of these documents. It summarizes all the research carried out by Kurnaz's henchmen on the Guardians. They include not only the notes on the experiments and their scientific theories, but the transcriptions of their interrogations. They start in the caverns of Esquiara and continue here with their experiments to reproduce the ritual. They were disappointed in the results. The Nadoig that they created was less impressive than the one they had dissected. Moreover, despite their efforts, they were unable to control it. They were hoping to train it like one of their war dogs.
All of this is ignoble, a revolting demonstration of depraved logic. But as you've said, the documents are in our possession. Without them, and given that these savants are no longer in a state capable of further experimentation, Kurnaz must now abandon his plans. Well, there's nothing left to do here. Let's go back to the entrance of the ruins. The ambassador and her escort will meet us there soon.
The men of the Alliance alone.
I'm sorry we didn't wait for you. We wanted to learn about the Alliance's research as quickly as possible.
I can understand that. What did you find?
There was a camp here, as we suspected, but it was destroyed, along with all its occupants, by the Guardian we fought. There are no survivors. Many of them were taken by surprise. They must not have expected the Nadoig to escape their control.
What a waste! But if they were taken by surprise, they must not have had time to destroy or carry away the evidence of their research.
That's right. We found a number of documents they left behind. Without them, it will be hard for them to repeat the experiment. Here. This describes not only what they did to my people, but also their aims, as well as everything they learned, or thought they had learned, about our Guardians. Without these documents, and with the death of all the scientists involved, there's little chance of their experiments succeeding again.
That's excellent news.
We also found other documents that specifically named the person who instigated all this in the region. Look. Her name is Zahid, and she's one of Kurnaz's closest associates. We've already had to contend with her in Yuxantis, unfortunately.
I've heard of her. She's officially an Alliance diplomat who arrived in Peren a short time ago.
We suspect that she is also involved in matters concerning Teleme. If you are in contact with Father Cardinal Pius, you should tell him about this. He will be very interested to hear about it.
I know him well. I'll speak to him about it. Thanks to this signed document, as well as the other evidence you've given me, I'll be able to make our case to Prince de Vespe. Zahid and her ilk will have to answer to him. And as you know, the prince is not known for his leniency. I trust you weren't planning to settle your scores with her yourself.
That woman keeps getting in our way, but I trust you'll be able to keep her from doing any harm.
Don't you worry about it. As soon as I get back to Peren, I'll ask for an audience with the prince. Well, if you don't need me anymore, I'll be on my way. Come and see me again in a few days. I'm sure I'll have some news to share.
Safe travels, Ambassador.
Whenever I think about Zahid, I indulge in a bit of daydreaming. They're rather bloody, of course, but they end well. With her death.
Sooner or later, we'll put an end to her shenanigans. Permanently.
Greetings! You are Father Cardinal Pius's young friends. It's a pleasure to meet you. I see you're from Tirfredi. We really must find time to discuss your island. Please, forgive my prattling. I'm the ambassador of Serene here in the city. You asked to meet me.
That's right, Sir Dargenton. I was snatched from my island along with one of my friends several months ago, and taken to Alima by people from the Alliance.
How appalling. Please know that our nation does not approve of this kind of practice under any circumstances.
I'm glad to hear that. Today we are trying to return home. We have a ship, but as you know, such an expedition is costly.
To say the least. The creation of our trading post, New Serene, cost us a fortune.
We hoped that the Dorsey family would be able to finance this voyage. And of course, the ship could also carry cargo.
I appreciate that. And I want you to know that I sympathize with your situation. However, our ships are already prepared. And we generally try to minimize the number of passengers so as to carry as much merchandise as possible. It would be very difficult for me to convince the prince to sponsor a new expedition to Tirfredi.
Very difficult. But perhaps not impossible. What could we do to make it easier for you?
Well, I hesitate to even entertain this idea, especially as I wouldn't even know where to start. But as you have no doubt learned, the Dorseys are in perpetual competition with the de Vesps. For the moment, our family still governs the congregation, but this situation may not last. The de Vesps are always trying to shift the balance by strengthening their influence with other families and cities. I know they're up to something, but I don't know exactly what. If you were able to help us foil their plans, the prince would owe you a great debt and would be much more inclined to grant your request.
You do know I'm a de Vesp, don't you?
Yes. But if you're here and not at your uncle's palace, it means that, for whatever reason, you consider us more trustworthy.
I can understand why Claude d'Orsay made you his man in Peren. You're as clever as they say. I think I know what plan you're referring to, and I may have an idea on how to put a stop to it.
I'm delighted to hear it.
I'll tell you about it later, if you don't mind.
All right.
I'll leave you to think about it. Unless there's anything else you'd like to discuss.
We'll leave you to your work.
Thank you. Come back if you need my insights.
When we were speaking with Sir Dargenton, you said you had an idea that might be able to get us their help.
Yes, I did. You ought to know that my uncle has a twisted desire to assert our family's superiority over the other families. Over the Dorsey family in particular, of course. His dream is to prove that our family descends from a royal Astrian line. That would allow him to assert the antiquity of our family's nobility over all the others. And it would make us the rightful leaders of the merchant congregation.
I see. Do you think there's any proof of such a lineage?
If there is, it's waiting to be found at the bottom of some ruins. Trust me, my uncle will finance all the voyages you want in exchange for that kind of evidence, and the Dorseys would love to make it disappear. I've heard that my uncle's obsession has soared to new heights ever since he started a new archaeological dig. He's even brought in a specialist from the Alliance. That's how serious he is about this site.
So, are you suggesting that we go and participate in the dig and steal any evidence we can find?
Exactly. Then we could give it to whomever we think is most trustworthy. They'll all be so happy that I'm sure they'll agree to finance our trip.
Well, in that case, let's go to those ruins.